Hello and welcome to Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. This is episode number 174. This is The Secret Show. I'm Patricia Steere and with me is Mark Sargent. Hello, Mark.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. This is a special secret show that we're doing on a day we usually don't do them on. We always do them on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 Eastern and 11 GMT. But today is Monday, the 3rd of July. And we have someone in my studio, and that is Daniel Clark. And Daniel, can you come around so everyone can see you?
Hey, Daniel.
Daniel is filming a Flat Earth documentary. And we've spoke about Daniel before. The thumbnail picture has Daniel on it. So you
Patricia,
can check that out.
Patricia, that's not Daniel. Run, run. That's a plot twist right there.
That would be actually interesting.
That's straight out of M. Night Shyamalan, where it was like the kids were staying with the grandparents and all of a sudden you find out it's like, we have these pictures, like, those aren't your grandparents, honey. Get out of the house. So anyway.
But he was with you for a couple days on Whidbey Island in Washington State, and then he's been here for a couple of days. He came to my Flat Earth mixer last night, and I am mic'd up. I'm wearing a wire. Let me show everyone.
Oh boy, here we go.
There's,
you know, this one's going to be cut up. And
okay, so I can't touch it, but right here is a mic. Oh, I can? Thanks. There it is.
There it is.
And it's running. Can you still hear me? It's running down my back, and this is the pack, and that is it.
So officially, yes, Patricia is wearing a wire.
Wait. You can really see it? I don't think you could see it. Can you see it?
Yep.
There we go.
There it is.
So I've worn one on my leg too. Last night when I did my Flat Earth mixer under a long dress I was wearing, it was strapped under my leg, kind of up high, like I guess like a garter belt or something.
Wow.
And it was tight and Velcro. And I was wondering if one leg was going to turn blue. But yeah, it's interesting. I've never spent much time being filmed by anybody before.
I heard that Daniel actually wears that leg set up without the microphone sometimes.
Just for fun?
Yeah.
I don't think he's ready to come out like that.
Damn it. All right.
Done. Daniel, just some questions. I don't know if these questions, I didn't even ask you if I can ask these questions. So you've talked to Mark, you've talked to me. Do you have others in mind? And can you say who any of the others are, or is it top secret at this point?
Right now, I'd like to not disclose any names, but a lot of it has to do with the conference.
Okay. And you're
I didn't
going
catch
to be,
all that.
Oh, he doesn't want to disclose any names at this time.
We haven't reached out to some people.
Some people haven't been reached out to yet. And
Okay.
it has something to do with the conference. And you're going to be at the conference in Raleigh in November, right? That's the plan at this point. So,
Right.
Yeah. Other than that, it's been really nice having him here. I don't know. He's really a nice person.
I know. And he looks surprisingly like an actor named
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
Who's handsome. So he's
Yeah.
handsome. So
Yeah, good looking guy.
I did have that comment. I posted what's now the thumbnail to this video on my Facebook, and a couple of women were saying he's cute. So.
Yeah, he's a cute guy. I did not hit on him, which was, I think appropriate. So I won't say that he didn't throw me some glances from time to time, which is fine as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we dive into mailbag, or what do you want? What do you want to hit?
Let's go. Yeah, and I'm going to go in. I'm going to look at the live chat. You start with the mail, and I'll go in live chat and see if anybody's actually listening to this show except us.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be some people that are listening.
Some people who are bedridden, don't have the use of their arms, and can't turn off YouTube. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's July 3rd. It's not the 4th. So in America, you don't really have much. I think it's still a work day. I don't think it's a holiday.
I think it's a work day, but people are slacking in America.
Right.
Because tonight's the fireworks and the celebration.
Well, some people do fireworks tonight.
You, fireworks king. This would have been a big day for you back when you were much younger.
Yeah. When I was much younger, I would have been blowing up an entire beach by now.
And making tons of money selling fireworks.
I didn't hurt when it came to making the money.
This was the prime season for you, I guess.
Yeah, amazing what black market fireworks can do for you. Yeah, you're not doing it just because you like making them. You're also doing it because it pays the bills.
And also because you like things that explode.
I do. I really, really do. So, but no, for me, it was kind of like one of the reasons I don't do it now, other than, of course, potential trouble that I could get in, is because I pretty much packed an entire lifetime's worth of fireworks into 20 years. So kind of like ice cream. Remember I told you about the Schwan ice cream truck?
I know about the Schwan ice cream truck. I never had that in my life. My parents didn't have it, but I know the delivery truck of this ice cream. And I think the vans are brown and a golden color.
Yeah, they're industrial. They don't play music. This is like hardcore ice cream for people that you can't even buy in individual bar. You have to buy them in boxes.
It's delivery of ice cream.
It's delivery. It's delivery to your home. And when you have access to that for pretty much all your younger years, I'm never probably going to buy ice cream again. So, and it was good because, Ben and Jerry's, what's his face? You can't have ice cream too often.
Because you got sick of eating it?
Yeah. It's like, look, I ate a lot of ice cream. Unlimited ice cream, basically. When you're a kid. Yeah. It's probably good that we got outdoors. Anyway, let's go
come true, really.
Okay. So this first thing I got was in a priority mail with the sirens already.
You know what's weird?
It's like I'm in New York.
You used to never have sirens on your show.
I know.
And I know that Martin Leedkey, Flat Earth British, and I mentioned this before, has sirens in every show. Right. He lives in Wales, and where he lives, I guess there's lots of sirens. So what's up with where you are?
I have no idea. This is rural. No idea. Anyway, let's get to it. Yeah. Hopefully we can get through the sirens.
Oh, you're trying to distract from the fact that maybe you're really not on Whitby Island.
Patricia, why would you say something like that?
Oh, sorry.
Look, I know it's fun to do pranks from agency to agency, but this is not the time. We're on the air. Okay, the first one is from Laura Edens. Well, I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't say her last name. It's from Laura.
or show her address on YouTube.
Anyway, no, nothing wrong. No, I get packages, and she sent me not necessarily her life story, but she was basically, it was pretty big. It was a big packet of stuff, and it was telling me about how she wanted me to help her propose legislation to allow any family members, make it a state law to allow family members to attend funerals. Literally, that's what she wanted me to help her with. And it's cool and everything, but here's the thing, because her family banned her from a funeral. And I'm saying, look, this sort of thing, as much as I appreciate you reaching out to me for such a thing.
Wrong guy.
Yeah. If you're a fan, look, I'm a flat earth guy. If you want, well, look, you know this. I mean, if a family family members get banned from weddings and stuff like that all the time. We're not inviting such and such. We're not inviting such and such. A funeral is a somber event, but that does not give you any legal right to attend. If the family doesn't want you there, and then when you show up unannounced, and then they have you drug away by the sheriff's department, and then they don't press charges, and then you start filing petitions to the state. I get it, but
what was this because she was a flat earther? What's the connection?
Yeah, I think she's a flat earther, but she didn't really go into it much. She just kind of was interested in, I don't know, maybe she thought I could champion the cause, which is fine. But look, it's not a legal right to attend anything. If you're not getting along with family members, they have the right not to invite you, plain and simple. And if you were invited, look, it's the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. If 20 family members is there, yeah, she's got to go. Then you can't make a law to force them to have you there. I'm sorry, you can't. It's just not going to work that way. So
it's probably one of the odder questions I think you've ever received.
Yeah, and it was a big. I mean, this thing was heavy. It was
serious.
Just nothing but paper, and she sent me cost $7 priority mail. This thing was jammed, and I read all of it.
Any other interesting things that are?
Oh yeah, sure. So I should do the David Letterman thing.
You should try it.
All right. So I got two other things. One was from the Netherlands, and this guy sent this to me because he wanted to show me that there's space programming even over in the Netherlands. And what these are space patches. Hopefully I'm holding this right. Space patches. Do you guys see those?
Mm-hmm.
Space patches. In fact, here, let me take them out for you. So, because a couple people from the Netherlands, maybe in cooperation with the European, I'll just take these. They're Velcro to this thing, and you can get, there's on the back here, there's flight patches. And
trade them, collect.
Yeah, trade them, exactly. And yeah, you can see here, you know, and basically it's European space guys, like these two patches here. These guys spent time on the ISS. So in fact, I may keep these just for the heck of it. So this one has a little ISS at the bottom. All right.
Got it.
See that? And it says ISS, Andre Cooper, Kuipers. He apparently, from the Netherlands area, spent time on the ISS. And so he has a patch in his name.
It's weird how they're idolized, and I guess, of course, they would be.
Why not?
A professional athlete, in a way, you know, with baseball trading cards.
It's old school. It's like back in the old days, like, what do you want to grow? I want to be a fireman. I want to be a policeman. I want to be an astronaut, you know, or a pilot. Astronaut was always up there. What do you want to be? This other one here is just Earth. This one's fact. This one couldn't be more blatant. Look at this one. Earth and space. That's all it is. It's all the only two words in this entire thing. Earth and space. And then the ISS over there in the corner in orange-ish.
And a giant globe.
Yeah, the giant globe with America being shown, which is interesting because the Netherlands isn't even. Oh, actually, the Netherlands is. See that white globular thing over in the corner? So you have Greenland right next to the United States, and then that white globular thing is supposed to be the Netherlands, trying to tie them into it.
Hey, maybe that's the correct map everyone's been looking for. Embroidered.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to keep these.
Plain sight.
I'm going to keep these just for the heck of it, to show people space programming.
I think they're neat too. I mean, when you remove yourself from the knowledge that we have that everything's fake, space and all of these space-oriented pieces of memorabilia are really cool and neat and attractive. And I guess that's why they make them. It works.
And then this last one is from Keith from Ripley, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me, I'm not going to show you all of it because you're going to have to wait till next week. In fact, you'll have to guess next week. But I got a nice handwritten letter from him. Always appreciate handwritten letters. That's old school.
It is. And he's got nice handwriting too. A plus.
Yeah. And he sent me a DVD with some, he's a musician. He played at the, let's see here, band called Contraflow from the April 2014 thing. Best performance.
Where's he from? Is he from Louisiana?
Tennessee. Why? You've heard these guys?
Tennessee. Well, no, Contraflow, and maybe this is in every state. When there's hurricanes or an emergency where people have to be evacuated, there's contraflow lanes, if I'm not mistaken, on highways. So that's why the first place I ever saw that is when I lived in New Orleans, basically because of hurricanes. So I was thinking maybe that's what the name contraflow means. It means against the flow, so it could, I think. So it could mean anything, but I think it's something you see on highways.
All right. Anyway, so he sent me that with a bunch of stuff on it, and of course, the big question is that's the question for next week's show, which is what's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? So you guys can take guesses on what else he sent that I will show you next.
Do we get a teaser?
Oh boy, any clue they'd probably get it. It's prophetic. How's that?
Ooh, okay. All right.
Prophetic. I was going to use another word, but they would have guessed it almost immediately if I would have said that. So anyway, that was the mailbag for this week.
I looked up contraflow in transport engineering nomenclature. A counterflow lane or contraflow lane is a lane in which traffic flows in the opposite direction of the surrounding lanes.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
So there we go.
Awesome.
I got one thing right this show. Let's chalk that up. Ding. When I get something wrong, they'll cancel each other out.
Yeah. Will you get something wrong? No. that's rumors, fabrications spread by your competitors.
Exactly.
Where'd you want to go with next?
Live chat. I want to just say hello to Flathead Politics and Dennis Sindlev and Ian McGregor, X Stranger XX, and Nora No One's Flower. Marilyn Wiseby is here as well. Haunted House, who says prosthetic instead of prophetic.
No, prophetic, like in prophecy.
Is it a leg, an arm? I mean, a
prosthetic. No, it's not prosthetic.
I know.
Prophetic.
Let's see. We've got someone's in here who I've never seen before, and maybe that's a good thing. Their YouTube username is Hula for the Grim Reaper. Okay.
Love it.
Stephen Watson as well. Ukdina Walker. Hey, Ukdina. Glad to see you here. Hope your oral surgery recovery is continuing. Oh, and we haven't heard from this Lana, and this Lana is here and hasn't been here for a while, who says she believes veganism is on the rise because the world is being restored to pre-flood conditions. Some believe animals can speak in the pre-flood era. Lana also believes Pangea will return.
I don't think Pangea is going to be happening again anytime.
It would be really great if animals could speak, because no one would eat them then. I mean, for me, because I'm vegan, so. And plus, it would be really great to see what your cat or dog was really thinking. And maybe you might not want to know what they're
probably not
about you. I don't know if I said hi to Arwen. I lost track. Hello, Arwen and Shane Corning. And Awaken Mind. Carly Sunshine is here too. Ranty Rant Rant. Hello. Ranty Rant Rant says, perhaps we live on a Rubik's Cube. That's interesting. I'm not saying that that's literally true, but the fact that things could change like they would on a Rubik's Cube with just a twist would make a lot of sense with the Mandela effect or something.
There's still parts of the Orlando Ferguson map which I still enjoy, which are the fact that it's it's a circular structure, like this is, but it's bordered by a square, which again, you and I have talked about this, makes sense.
Four corners in the Bible. If that's
four corners, the angels holding back the four winds. But not only that, remember, machines, if we're part of one giant system, one giant machine, like, I'm not going to go into the holodeck necessarily, but remember, machines don't like circles. Eventually, they like ending in squares. Machines do not know how to draw circles. They can only draw right angles. Think about it. It's true.
What about super high-tech machines that
still can't draw circles?
Capabilities beyond our wildest imaginings.
They can draw circles, but remember, how do you tell a machine to draw a circle? We can just do it. But a machine, when you take, it's like, oh no, I can draw a perfect circle. It's no, zoom in with a magnifying glass. It's just a tiny, tiny version of right angles. That's all it is. It's just less pixelated, which is why when things become pixelated, they're always squares.
Oh, wow. That's true.
Yeah. Huh. Always.
Hello to Chris Sackarel and Flat Earth Crush. Timaeus is here, and Dan W. Dan is asking, will the Flat Earth documentary be on Netflix? That's an interesting question.
No idea. Daniel? No, they got. What do you say?
I just asked Daniel if he would know the answer to that.
No idea. He doesn't know.
That we should call Netflix and ask them.
Okay, first you got to film it, then you got to find a distributor that'll do it.
That would be cool. Arwen is asking, does anyone here know why Jaron didn't show up on Karen Pettit's show? I didn't know about anything about this, but I'm just going to theorize that just from my experience with Jaron, he has a lot on his plate, and sometimes he might not remember. What do you think?
Yeah, he probably only got two reminders. Jaron, you got to send 4. Not knocking you, man. I'm just saying.
I'm sure it was nothing nefarious. I'm sure he didn't do it to hurt Karen or to hurt anybody.
Oh no, he probably just forgot.
Yeah, he one time forgot to be on one of my shows. I mean, he's probably done the same to you, right?
He's done. I have seen him forget bigger things than that.
Yeah, and it's nothing to do with the fact that he doesn't value the person.
Nope.
And in a way, it reminds me of my brother, who's 4 years younger than I am, baby of the family, and how he would always be given leeway by my parents. Oh, that's just Tim. And I, being 4 years older, would say, why are there special rules for him? Why can't he act the right way? And why don't my sister and I have to be, held to higher standards? And it's like, oh, well, that's your brother. So Jaron might be just like a version of my brother. He's just sometimes not going to show. But it doesn't mean anything bad. We still love him.
I hate you, Jaron. No, for me, when I forget things, it's such a negative shock to my system, where it jolts you. It's like, oh my God, can't believe it. Even if it's something small.
Right.
That I haven't forgotten anything in a long time.
You mean forgot to accomplish a task or show
Forgot to accomplish a task, something that was on my schedule. And then
me too. I have the habit of being late a bit, but our show started on time pretty much today.
Oh, don't no. That's not entirely true for the documentary. Yes, it is.
No, this show has started earlier than usual.
That's because there's a camera guy there.
Yes, and I didn't want to let him down.
Seriously, you blew the whole track. In fact, that's what I'm going to say. 174 shows.
I'll let
174 shows. One of them, everything went on time.
I'll let you down, but I won't let Daniel down.
Suck. Now I have to use. Well, no. Now it actually adds even better framework to the story. The only time she made it was.
Because there's somebody else in the house. You got to treat him with respect.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. Let me sit around for 40 minutes.
Throw Mark under the bus. He can take it.
Show's on.
Go. I'm just as guilty as what I was saying my brother did and what we theorized Jaron might have done. Different rules for Daniel than I have with you.
Yes, but I think
shame on me.
I think you're doing it deliberately, sort of like a finishing school move. Like that's one of those secrets in finishing school where it's like, never be exactly on time. Fashionably late is 15 to 30 minutes after the appointed time.
No, I don't do it on purpose, but that's a
lie. You too.
All right, believe whatever
that way everybody's there and you can make an entrance.
Yeah, but if it's my own show, I don't need to worry about making an entrance. Chris Zacharel says, hello, Patricia. I'm Chris, first-time commenter. Thank you, Chris, for being a part of the show. Very cool. Joey Sylvie says, shout out Louisiana, because we mentioned Louisiana a little while ago. Flathead Politics as well. 3713 Globe Exit is here with us. And also somebody whose entire conversation is printed upside down, and I don't understand what that's all about, and backwards. So Maria's here. Maria, I haven't talked to you for a while. Maria is talking to Martin Leakey and telling him that she's getting a copy of the Mappa Mundi from the Library of France. Now in the UK, Nathan Oakley and Martin Leakey went to go see the Mappa Mundi maybe about a year or so ago, which was very interesting. The videos are probably on both Nathan's and Martin Leakey's channels.
Yeah.
Flat Earth Crush adds, Martin was one of the first well-known UK flat earthers that he subbed over a year ago. Nathan as well. Awakened Mind is asking where all the flat earth deniers are. I don't think the show attracts flat earth deniers that much, but sometimes people who just like trolling come on in. So maybe they will be here. And you know what? It's okay to deny flat earth. Everyone's on their own journey. We're not here. We're not flat earth pushers. We're not giving you the first taste. It's free.
First one's always free, baby.
Nicole Cote is here. She did a hangout recently where she was drinking wine, and it had a progressive effect, which made the show amusing. So
I was impressed that she made it 3 hours before basically passing out.
Well, I don't think.
And by the way, people coming into the show late, if you're wondering why there's a mic boom, in the corner, that's not going to look suspicious at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Cues all the time
of being an agent or this, and
that she's actually in a sound studio.
Somebody's going to be like taking a screenshot of that and putting
that
a
microphone
around it and go, look, Illuminati confirmed.
They'll exactly. There's the stage hand.
Disembodied arm, stage hand. I want to say hello to Twitwit and Mike Mazzone and other people who are here as well. Wisdom of Full Weakness is here. Road FM as well. And Knowledge Scavenger, Paula and Sam Adi as well. And Chris Zacharel is asking me if I'm a fan of the band Turin Breaks. Never heard of them. I'll have to look into them. Mark Ofsky is here as well. And he's asking, how does the cameraman not trip over the cats? Oh, they're keeping.
Because the cats have a handler and
No, the cat wrangler. Yes,
the cat wrangler.
pay him well. No, they're out there. I don't know why they're not in here. They're a little bit timid around Daniel, but they're coming around.
Yeah.
Rory is good friends with him, and Greer is my black female cat is fascinated with Daniel. The other day, Daniel and I were talking, and Greer was staring right in his eyes. She was having soul communication with him. It's pretty cool.
Right. Off camera, it's like, no cats today. Keep them in my trailer. And yes, I want sleepy time tea, and it better be hot. Better be ready this time.
Chop chop. No, that's not what happens. But there is a conspiracy about my cats, and the conspiracy is that they're not. Well, aside from the fact that people used to say they were CGI, which is ridiculous, because we don't have the budget for that. I mean, we use our CIA budget for many other things, like this lovely green screen behind me. But the cats aren't really my cats, that they don't really live with me. They're only my props that somebody brings over and then lets out when I'm doing a show. How crazy are people?
I know, right?
What can you do? Nathan Oakley says cats go in post-production. Arwen says catspiracy.
That's actually good.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure it's already trademarked, but still, it's good.
Hey, we got a $5 donation from Super Chat, and all my Super Chat donations, which I don't ask for at all, are going to be given back to other people who do Super Chats. So, and I don't know who gave it. I wonder if there's a way to check. Oh, Mike Mazzone. Oh, hi, Mike. Thank you. That's really nice. It'll go back to somebody else. Really cool. We've got Wizlaw saying Catholic, as in Catholic.
Oh, Catholic.
My cats are of a particular religion, Catholic. That's what they practice.
I'm not going to touch that. Nope. I'm not going to do it.
Well, what else do we have? Do we have some I know I've got some emails.
Oh no, I was going to go over it.
Just talk about the happenings in Flat Earth.
Oh yeah, there's a big week in videos. I mean, I could
let's go over that, and we'll talk about my Flat Earth mixer that I had yesterday.
Do you want me to do my thing first? You want to talk about the mixer first?
Go first, because I was just blabbing. I'll give my mouth a rest.
All right. The first thing, let's do the most recent first, which is Donald Trump. And again, people send me tips all the time. It's like, Mark, have you seen this? Mark, have you seen this? Assume that I haven't. And sometimes they'll give you crap because if it's like weeks later, I'll go, dude, seriously? But if the story's only been out for 10 minutes, then I'll also give you crap. I'm going, really? Because 10 minutes on the ball. So I got the thing from Donald Trump. Have you seen the Donald Trump thing?
Yes, I've seen a couple of people use it in videos, including Richie from Boston. And I think...
but the thing from yesterday, where he was... Well, no, you would have been busy with the thing, with the mixer. He signed into law some Space Corps. Sort of like the Space Marine Corps from Aliens type of thing is what the vibe I got. But who was in the room with him but Buzz Aldrin? And very interesting, because as he was talking, most people, when the president's talking, everybody behind him are frozen. They're just like this. You can't get any facial expressions from most anybody behind. The whole point is the president's talking, so everybody else just clam up, because the cameras are all over the place. And
what was Buzz doing? Kind of buzzed and kind of weaving.
Holy smokes. The worst poker face ever. Everything he talked about space, you got to watch it. He has a really strong reaction to, like surprise or concern or suspicion, or he's just all over the place with his facial expressions. I mean, pretty much nonstop.
Well, people say he drinks. Does he drink? Is this a lie?
Well, yeah, probably. Well, that goes into a Russian saying, and that is, what's on a sober man's mind is on a drunk man's tongue, or in this case, Buzz Aldrin's face, because he was absolutely giving away everything. I mean, literally, if the man played poker with what he was doing, he'd be on the street broke.
But he could have been doing it on purpose to create talk, just like we're doing right now.
Nope, too nervous. It wasn't like he was clowning up there. He was reacting. Donald Trump was 3 feet and change away from him.
How far away was his hair, though?
They what?
How far away was Donald's hair?
Well, that's just it. He could have been staring at his hair and had all those reactions just from the hairpiece. But in this case, it was all the stuff that Trump was bringing up. Anyway, the point was, we didn't find this. That it was done by British television, they picked it up because, you know, them, it's like, what in the world's wrong with this guy? And the conspiracy world picked up on it, and I put it out there, and it's got 10,000 hits in the first day. Not too shabby for and it's scoring really well because he looks, it's one of the first times I've ever seen anybody react to a president's speech standing right next to him. You know what I mean?
I heard the speech on, I think, Richie from Boston and Russian Vids, but it was this morning and I wasn't watching.
Oh, you got to watch it.
But I didn't, it was from the perspective of what the president was saying, not what, that even Buzz was there. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll check that out later. A lot of other videos came out while I was doing my mixer yesterday. I kind of missed out on a whole full day of flat earthing. So
did
catch
you
me up?
Okay. Well, that's one of the things I do. Did you get a chance to see the satellite that went down in Brazil?
Yes, I did see that.
Fascinating.
And it, you know, it came down on a balloon.
Yep.
Found in the middle of what looked like
rural. It was rural Brazil. So like
right.
A footpath. It wasn't near anything.
And the people that found it were just locals, it looked like.
Yeah, locals with smartphones, of course. Well, you know, because everybody's got a smartphone. Literally, you could have a hut in the middle of nowhere. You're going to have a smartphone.
And that made it more realistic because with all of these events that occur, shootings or bombings, when there really isn't any first-person evidence with cell phones, which there would be because everyone's got a cell phone, even in rural Brazil, this made this more real to me.
Oh, yeah.
Unless the hoaxers are smartening up and letting people take pictures of whatever fake evidence they plant or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Brazilian villagers that showed up first on the scene before the government showed up, because, you know, that thing was hauled off pretty quick. They just standing around, not knowing really what to do because the balloon was draped. It was a big balloon, way bigger than the Rob Skiba version. This thing was big. And it wasn't like it was shredded. You know, because people say, oh, the balloon was shredded. I don't think so. I think because it looked like the way it was attached, it had a way to regulate the altitude consistently. So the comments were priceless because you had two camps. Some people were trying to figure out what they were seeing. They're saying, wait, that has to be fake because there's no way it could have survived re-entry perfectly intact. And the other camp are saying, well, it must have been staged because there's no way. But then the third group's like, no, wait. It's because it was attached to a balloon. And it's not like the balloon popped. That's the difference between every other balloon thing we've seen. You know, the balloon, whether the balloon goes up, it pops, and then it falls, and maybe a parachute catches it, maybe not. But with something that big, you don't generally have a parachute. In fact, while I was looking, it didn't have a parachute.
Why did why was even it intact?
Because it landed so softly. The balloon.
Well, that's a funny answer. Of course, it landed softly, but how?
Oh, because the balloon didn't burst. It had a hole in it of some sort, or it had some sort of valve. There was a seam that failed, and so it dropped very, very, very slowly to where, I mean, it looked like it landed, I don't know, almost at like parachute speed. Very, very softly to where, I mean, you heard it. Not only was it perfectly intact, it was still beeping, which was great. And people say, oh, no, it's not a satellite. It's like, are you kidding me? This looks like every satellite we've ever seen an artist's illustration of. The solar panels, the wings, the funny little doodads on all corners. Perfect. It was brilliant. And that was, and in fact, what's interesting, if you look up online, not to interrupt you, you look up online, you type in crash satellite.
Yes.
You almost see nothing.
Right.
There's nothing. That is one of the first satellites anyone's even heard of that's landed intact.
Now, with something like that, one would say, well, if satellites are really up there with balloons, then that means that we have seen many, many, many fall before. But when you think about how much water is on Earth, or at least what they tell us, most of them, when a seam fails on a balloon, if that's how they're put up there, they just go right splash down into the water. But
exactly 70 statistics, 75% chance of anything that comes down is going down in the water, plain and simple. And the ones that do come down on land, generally you're going to have a recovery team like Rob. Remember how they got underneath it all the way till the end? You know, that thing was falling. They were there as it was coming down. And with this, because it was in such a remote part of Brazil, I mean, you honestly were lucky. Any further north, it would have been in a freaking rainforest, and then they never would have gotten it.
What about any? I mean, I saw this video. What about any information on the satellite or whatever the heck it is?
Nothing.
Any writing? Nothing.
There was some American numbers on it. but that doesn't mean anything. It could have
Do
been.
they add up to 33? That's what I want to know.
No, no, no. I was trying to think of something funny, but no. So and nobody zoomed in. Yeah, if he was smart, he could have zoomed in on that sucker. Some of the people in the comments were saying, "Freaking take the hard drive, take the hard drive." But these were
Yes.
villagers. They didn't know any different.
Well, what happened to it? Did government come and get it?
Nobody knows. There were no fault. No other videos came out of that area. That's straight out
That
of War.
kind of makes me think that there's something fake. But if it was faked, what would they be trying to get across? It wouldn't be that satellites are up there, shut up flat earthers, because it's got a balloon attached to it, which isn't what they say is what's supposed to happen.
I love it because that's right in the face of a bunch of debunkers that say, when you say, how do satellites get up there? Balloons. And they laugh at you. It's like, okay, well, here's one.
But also,
right here.
flat earthers have said satellites don't exist. But I guess we should amend that to say in the way in which we've been taught, which is in space.
Me, I've always said they're up there. I just say that however they're up there. And balloons was the most logical choice. There you go.
You were also saying if there's a dome, they might be sort of find a way to pin themselves to it.
Yeah, I heard that too. But balloons are cheap. And you apparently, if you can get a recovery team, I mean, look, that thing came down in perfect order. You take it, put it in a truck, and take it somewhere else.
Okay, so then that would mean that there are satellites, but how could a satellite such as that one, let's say that thing is totally real and it really was up there and developed a slow leak. So it would be in a geosynchronous orbit? That doesn't
probably get a member on
it would just be floating around, right? I mean, randomly.
Well, no, because up at a certain altitude, it depends if it's higher than the jet stream. Because the jet stream, if you look on an AE map, and Rob Skiba did a wonderful thing. You know, there's computer models out there where you can take just about everything and convert it to a different map projection. And on an AE map, it just goes around in a big circle. So yeah, it goes in an orbit, in a big circle around where we are. So no, I don't think it's going to be in stationary, but maybe they can pick up the signal from different points. Don't know, but it's a great little piece to the puzzle.
It is, but I would really like to know where it is now and why none of those people went on a truck when it was picked up.
If you wait, they weren't near any roads, so somebody had to freaking carry it into the village, which then they hand over to the local law enforcement. Local law enforcement calls the country of origin, who calls the corporation. They send a team down and take it. But I don't think anyone down there is suspicious enough to record that entire thing. We were lucky we got that, to be honest.
Ukdina Walker says, growing up in the military many moons ago, even back in the 50s and 60s, there were many military balloons. I mean, they used to tell people who said they saw a UFO, oh, that's a weather balloon. So maybe that's actually a weather balloon for real.
What, that one?
Yeah, I don't know what, I mean.
Oh, you mean like a weather balloon? Well, no.
Solar weather balloon?
Well, no, the weather balloon is just a weather balloon. Its payload, though.
Right.
Look, if it looks like a satellite and sounds like a satellite, it's a freaking satellite. It's got solar panels. Weather balloons don't need a giant solar panel array to help it power. That thing was going to be up there for a while. Pack a lunch.
So if things are really up there like that, and if there's one, that would mean that's how they do it, and there's tons of them up there, then how come planes don't run into them? How come
they're higher than air traffic?
Okay.
Air traffic, 35, 40,000 feet. These things would have been, it would have been up in the 100,000 foot range. Keep them below the bursting range of 120,000 feet. Keep them at 100,000. You got no problem.
How long can a balloon last up there?
I don't know. A long
and
time.
They probably got balloons that are better than anything we've got.
Sure.
The military.
I mean, long enough to where when this thing sprung a leak, it still didn't go catastrophic.
So there's people who make balloons and put them on satellites and put them out there off a plane, a high plane, maybe? I don't know.
No, just ground it.
Ground
like anywhere else. A military base, probably.
So there's people who really know that they're fooling all of us.
Well, no, because even if you were the one that launched that sucker, how do you know that the rocket ones aren't real? You don't.
True.
All you know is you're launching yours. And you're saying, oh yeah, this is to supplement the satellite things that are already up there. But when you break down the math, I mean, come on. If you can get away with ballooning up a satellite for pennies on the dollar, why in the world would you ever need a rocket? Unless you were thinking that you were going to go to vast distances. But that's a whole other thing for another time. but interesting.
It's puzzling because how many of those are really up there? And wouldn't they hit each other? Do they have any sort of guidance system?
No, because if you put stuff in a like the jet stream, they're not going to hit each other because that assumes the jet stream is going to slow one down and speed one up. But even if they did, remember, if you're hitting at low altitudes, you know, like the jet stream, you're not talking about a movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. That sort of situation where everything just starts flying around and it cascades into a big wall of jagged metal. Two run into each other, fine. They run into each other, they drop to the ground, and that's it. You're done.
The whole thing's puzzling, and I'm looking for another explanation, which is it was put there to fool us. Then again, I'm a conspiracy realist.
Oh, yeah. But by the way, if you guys have not seen the video, just type in balloon satellite Brazil. That's it.
Rune Thorson says Google has 100,000 plus balloons in the air as we speak. So
I did. Well, somebody look up what that one looks like. Actually, what we're probably going to figure out, some nerd is going to figure this one out, where they're going to look at, they're going to compare it to something that was made on the ground, and they say, "Oh yeah, I totally made that," and then we can find out what country it is. It may not be American.
Very true. Very true.
But it had English numbers, so it's not Japanese, it's not Chinese, it's not Korean. Blah blah blah.
What do we have here going on in our chat? Daryl Croswell says, my dad installed satellite internet in rural areas, and he even says that the more rural it is, the harder it is to sync to the satellites. I mean, right there, yeah. That would mean that balloons weren't satellites, because that would mean it's done on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello to...
I have no doubt that, again, if you can get away with towers, underwater cables, and have that replace 90% of the bandwidth, that's what you go with. Sure.
Hello to Andres and Zern Music and Dave Hingle. Jason Fox says Google can direct their balloons using air currents by changing the altitude. And Updina adds that balloons are used for surveillance and who knows what else. It's
not a perfect science, but he's absolutely right. Depending on the altitude, you can have it change directions. I mean, it's sort of like steering a wind ship on the high seas. But sorry, a sailboat on the high seas, wind ship. Why do I keep
a wind ship?
Wow.
What are you in the 14 or 16?
I forgot. I'm on Earth.
Exactly.
Sailboat.
I like wind ship better.
Wind ship is actually better.
Yeah, and it has a very poetic sound to it.
Somebody remember that. Write that down.
Yes. Street says it was reported, what we're talking about, as belonging to one of the groups associated an alphabet company or alphabet group, and they say it was a programmed landing.
Really? In rural Brazil? Because you don't want to land it anywhere else?
Yeah. Tamea says, ha ha, a weather balloon with a satellite attached. Actually, that should be our reaction, like, ha ha. But maybe, I mean, I still say no. I don't know.
Interesting, though, isn't it?
It is interesting. It's just, like you said, another piece of the puzzle. It doesn't
do
anything, but, you know.
Can I give a disclaimer to
No, I'm sorry, you can't.
It's fine. I'm glad I did it. I'm going to take full responsibility for it.
Okay, about what?
All you guys. I made a, I reposted.
I don't know about this, so tell me what you're sorry for.
I reposted.
And then you ask for mercy from the court.
No, it's not like that. ODD made a penguin video where it was a video game, a whole bunch of penguins in a video game simulation coming across a hill and attacking a whole bunch of Santa Clauses.
Right.
And I thought it was actually fairly symbolic, especially since mainstream media actually will do Santa Claus stories. Remember that CNN story where Santa Claus is now being flanked every year by United States military F-18 fighters, which is, of course, what would happen.
It would probably scare the reindeer.
Anyway, the penguins and the Santa Clauses were doing battle for about a minute, and I added some different music to it, some captions, and people thought it was too violent. And I was like, well, but it's not, okay, one, I can assure you that no actual Santa Clauses were harmed during the making of that video. Two,
we're saying it was violent to have things that actually don't exist fighting each other.
I know. Video game violence. Even though it's like, okay, look, it's video game penguins versus literally an army of Santa Claus. So I don't know if you're really going to say that's got much of it.
People always like to complain. And if you do something, especially if you do something free, they'll complain even harder. So.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. And look, and I didn't make the original video. I know people are saying, well, doesn't really matter. I mean, I didn't get anyone that was saying unsubbed, which is good, but
nobody who says unsubbed really is unsubbed. They're usually not even subbed when they type unsubbed on your channel. You see that and you're like, I never even saw you before. Who are you?
Yeah, who are you? Yeah, or they're not subbed, literally not subbed to anybody, and the channel was just made.
Right. If there's any comments on that, if anybody says, oh, that was horrible, Mark, or it was good, or whatever.
I thought it was fine. Again,
Iron FE.
It was a nod. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Iron FE says that Penguin War video is good.
Yeah. I was actually just before we got online, I was thinking of making one with a slightly different military drum version, but I don't know if it would make much difference. I was just trying to get the point across is that I was endorsing the IPS wrench squad and their way of doing things, which is why I did the
talk about that. Let's talk about that. But I do want to say that Carly Sunshine says the video is epic. See if anybody has any naysaying about that video.
There'll be better ones out there. And it's really just a video game engine. It's an editor that allows armies, like you can have zombies versus, I don't know, grandmas.
Shane Corning, the Rev Shane Corning says, unsubbed.
The Reverend. Testify. Go to church.
DITRH is here as well. And Nathan Oakley has linked to the video, Penguins versus Santa. So I'll put that in the description box of this video as well. What else is going on? Let's talk about the wrench squad and the controversy that has brought into the flat earth world. You know, the people, that's really what I talk about.
Right.
Not about the proofs, I'm about the people of flat earth. It's what really the show is about. My opinion on how IPS runs his channel is that I don't have a right to have an opinion. It's his channel. He can make everyone have a wrench, no one have a wrench, not enable live chat, enable live chat. You know, it's up to him. It's his channel. And if a person doesn't like his channel, then they shouldn't watch. Sometimes I think that enabling everyone with a wrench is an armed society, is a safe society. Now, I'm not sure if I agree with that statement, but in that way, if somebody comes in doing wrong, anybody can handle it. Nobody's quote unquote special. So maybe it's a good thing. I know that there's been wrench turf wars on Globebusters with certain people getting wrenches and certain people not, and certain people being angry about it. And people's wrenches being taken away when they, you know, when they do something wrong. And the wrench is symbolic of control, obviously. And it's not even symbolic. It really is control within YouTube. So I don't think there's a problem with him having everyone have a wrench. What should we do with people who are trolling? And what defines a troll? Is a troll just a person with a dissenting opinion? I allow polite discourse on my channel and in my comments. And even if they're enabled, even if I have them set to, I have to approve them first before enabling them, I will allow the ones that are polite and don't involve putting other people down. But if somebody comes in and they're going to be using vulgar language or profanity or make fun of you or me or anybody in flat earth, then that's not adding anything to the conversation that we're all having here. So what do you think? I mean, if you were doing a live stream, would you have everyone be given a machine gun? I mean, wrench?
Yes, I would nowadays, which is why to date I have never done a live stream, because I'll take it. You know me, I'll take it too far if I can. Because
you'd block everybody, and so there'd be nobody listening.
Well, you remember when I started my channel, I literally did not allow comments for the first 6 months, not even comments, because I didn't care. It's like, I don't want to hear it. Like, this is my opinion. You want to get a hold of me? There's my email address. I'll address it then. I didn't want people just attacking each other in the chat. And then Jonathan from Jersey, troublemaker that he is,
yes,
he says, Because, man, people love that stuff. People love the drama. They like to slug it out. Just let, it's like, all right, fine. So I turned all the videos on simultaneously. And, everyone had this chance to run in and be first. And then, it degrades very, very quickly. And I've seen this since the day one in the internet. And I won't go into this too much on this show, maybe later. But what I try to say is this: when it comes to the troll population, they tend to take it too far. And for me, it turns into, what's the easy version of this? The school lunch money scenario. And that is, let me troll, give me your lunch money or I'm going to beat you up after school. Let me troll a little bit or I'm going to troll you a lot. And it's
it's blackmail, bullying.
Well, yeah, it is. It's grade school frolics is what it is. It's always has been. I mean, we've all heard of this. In fact, some of you out there may have even given up your lunch money at one time or another. I was the guy that had to go after the guys that, were gunning for the lunch money. And and I get it. You don't want to. It's like, oh, maybe I'll just let it happen this once. I'll tolerate it. You do that, you're just enabling them, and it just starts. It's a slippery slope. And so for me, kill them all, let God sort them out.
Well, Validation Boy says that VB Livestream has never had a wrench ever, which is true. I've gone in on his live streams before. I've even been on his channel before, and he doesn't have anyone having a wrench. And he calls it a troll's paradise. I think he said that. So it works for him. Other shows it doesn't work for.
It really depends. If you're a target, yeah. If you're not a target, you're fine. If you're a target, you've seen it.
Oh yeah, I've been a target.
So I will not do until the troll population is wiped out, and I mean in the dirt, wiped out. I will not do a live hangout. I won't do it because I'm not going to even give them a chance to take that sort of power.
Sometimes I've been told after a show with you or after one of my live interview shows, oh my gosh, you weren't looking when it was going on. It all went down. It was all happening. There was heavy trolling and I missed it. So I guess I'm glad I didn't see it. What I don't see can't hurt me.
Yeah.
And actually what I see can't hurt me either because it's just words on a screen and I don't care.
And let me make one more comment and then we'll move on to something else, which is, if you think I'm being too reactionary, think of it like this. The school lunch money scenario, which we all know, quickly evolves into something which we've all known from movies and television, but rarely have we seen it firsthand, which is called the protection racket, which is, you're going to pay us every week, you're going to give us an envelope, we're going to come back, we're going to trash your store. That's where and that's just crime straight up. And it turns, it's just a bigger version of the lunchroom thing. And it bothers me to no end. And so I will do anything I can to stop it.
Carly Sunshine is a big fan of taking care of trolls. She says she does the same thing in her closed groups on Facebook.
You want to, I mean, again, if you're against flat earth, hey, fine. You can be against flat earth, make some videos, do this and that. You start doing hateful, malicious things, it's your ass.
Arwen says, don't give a bunch of naysayers and troll followers wrenches. It creates a mess. Others are agreeing with him. Let me see what else is going on here. Awakened Mind says, banning a troll is cool. Beyond that, ? Banning, what would be beyond that? Blocking?
What's beyond that? The scene from the movie Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, when they took their movie money and they looked up on the addresses of everybody in the internet that trolled them. They flew out to those homes and they knocked the crap out of them.
Yeah, that was funny. Let's see what else is happening. I'm looking in here to see what other people have said about this sort of thing. I look at it two different ways. One way is if people troll, I don't want them around because they're just saying disgusting things. If someone has a different point of view, they don't agree with what we're saying, as long as they do it politely, that's okay.
Yeah.
But if the people that are fully saying, that are trolling in the classic sense of the word, those people, if you get rid of them sometimes, they will just have another account and they come back and they troll harder. You get rid of them and they come back. And before you know it, your chat is completely disrupted with that. And you're getting a ton of thumbs down, which doesn't really matter in the scheme of things, I guess. If I see a video with a bunch of thumbs down, I might think, well, that might be an interesting video. And I think YouTube considers it's called engagement, meaning people are at least paying attention to this content. But if you give them a chance, they'll be there that one time trolling, interrupting the chat. If you get rid of them and they keep coming back, they'll still be there, but with different names.
Oh, I know.
Same thing,
I know what you're
interrupting the chat. So is it better to leave that one guy with the one channel there and let him do the interrupting, or her, and call it a day, and everyone in chat just agrees to just ignore that person and not give them any fuel, because they're there to be fueled, meaning they want the attention, they want the abuse? Which is better?
If my opinion, if you want to give up your lunch money, go right ahead. I'm not
Dealer's
talking to you.
choice.
I'm talking to anybody that's out there. You can sleep at night. That's fine. Me, I'm going to fight them until their will is broken, and then they turn into Lee Bracker.
Oh, people will say that's bad, that you
Don't care.
killed Lee Bracker. Which
Do not care. Lee Bracker had it coming.
He was a
He
bad
was
guy.
troll, and he was a bad person.
Yeah, he was a bad person. And I don't mean I wished him to be dead, but if somebody wants to do bad things to other people,
we didn't have to do anything. That's the best part.
life
And
took care of him.
I keep trying to tell people, like, look, karma is real. And some people laugh. It's like, oh, karma, he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like, no, Lee Bracker did awful things, and we did not have to lift a finger.
Now, some people are saying the thing with IPS that they don't like, among other things, is that when he does a show, that people who are armed with the wrenches, who never knew about the wrenches, and they just are coming into a YouTube, oh, a live show, let me go look, and they're flat earthers, immediately they don't have a wrench and they get banned. That creates anger among those people, who then are instructed that they need to email IPS, and IPS will, just say, okay, sorry about that, and then give them a wrench. That angers some people. But that's his rules. So.
It's his rules. I mean, it says, not that you're not going to run into friendly fire, but the analogy I used was, look, he's in a military base, basically, with signs on the gate that say you must register at the door.
Right.
Which means, and if you don't, if you try to get in there without registering at the door, you will be shot down. So I try to say it's like zombies walking into a military base. Not going to happen.
Mark Fanning says penguins with wrenches do it with more frequency and less static, i.e. drama. Yeah, I guess that's true. They just nip it in the bud. Less drama.
It's kind of like, I hate to use one more weird analogy, but it's kind of like the Old West before they banned guns in the saloons. Yeah. Imagine if you, no, forget about that. It's like a cop bar. You all seen those in the movies where there's a bar where all the cops hang out, right? And basically they're all packing, off duty, on duty, doesn't really matter. They're all packing. Would you be an idiot and try to rob that bar? No.
What's the movie where they're all armed and they all point their guns at each other? It's like a standoff.
Well, there's that
classic movie. I can't think of the name of it right.
Oh, Reservoir Dogs.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
What IPS does is a form of vetting, but you're struck down first and then vetted later. So it's a
shoot first and ask questions later. Absolutely.
Exactly. Let's see what else is happening in chat. Arwen says he did email IPS and he didn't get a response.
These are like notes, by the way, because Nathan's doing a show specifically on this tomorrow.
Well, I see both sides of the story. Luckily today we're not being hit that hard, but I know other days it's been a nightmare. And Markovsky says Mexican standoff that is indeed what it's called. Although that would you say that these days and people will just be angry. But,
do you want me to do the hero line? And that is
yeah. So it begins. A certain person just came in and did a bunch of trolls comments, just like last.
Start handing out wrenches.
And immediately, Octina Walker snapped to it. Now this person is going to come back with the same comments with another account. I know. So everyone that's in chat, just ignore that person. And Octina and whoever else, just keep on deleting them. Sorry to make your life hard.
Thing is, you have enough friends. I can cover for you if you want to start handing out wrenches.
Oh no, there's a bunch of I don't have a lot of wrenches, but I have enough. I don't want to have a show where everybody is fully wrenched, but some days I've thought to arm every single person. But then again, I don't. Yes, please get rid of the because this person keeps coming back and they're offering nothing. Anyway, just
a perfect example.
They're offering
and to the message to whoever it is, because I don't know their name. Karma is real. You want to, just to put a big flare up and let the karma demons come to you. That's fine. You were warned.
Now, if these are people that have actual content that they want to exchange with the people that are here, do not come in with a channel with a troll name, something gross and vulgar. And then we know you're not serious right from the get-go. So,
no.
Ginger Sugarbush says the classic movie, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, is the one with the scene with a standoff.
Well, there's a bunch actually, but Reservoir Dogs I think is a better modern version where nobody knows who to trust. Plus, I also use, well, I don't want to get into it too much. Let's talk about your mixer, unless you're going to be distracted by that.
Treasure of the Sierra Madre. I just looked it up. 1948. Wow, interesting.
Oh, by the way, the Jacksonville, Florida meetup happened.
Oh yes, and isn't that the one that You've Been Exposed went to?
Well, yeah, I'm looking at a picture with You've Been Exposed and another guy.
Right. Well, he went to the meetup with his either wife or girlfriend, his significant other, who has a really nice voice. I hear her. I haven't seen her. Yeah. They're driving there. The video is him in the beginning driving, and he gets there, and he's at the right place in the right time, and there's only one person there. And how disappointing it is. But what a great testament to his love of the truth and flat earth that You've Been Exposed went there and did it. Sometimes you set up a meetup and sometimes people don't show, or not as many as you want, or more than you want.
Literally the first one that didn't turn out to be good.
Yeah.
Which was odd because people asked me about it.
Yeah. Well, try again,
Yeah.
All I can say. I had my mixer in Houston yesterday, the 2nd of July. It's the second annual. I guess I'll continue doing it. Last year I did it on Earth Day, Flat Earth Day, which was in April. And this year it was done kind of last minute due to the fact that Daniel Clark, the guy who is in my house filming me for the upcoming documentary on Flat Earth, and I already filmed you. If you didn't hear that part, it's in the beginning of this show. And I show the, I don't know, the wire that I'm wearing. I'll show it again in a minute in case you didn't see it before.
Patricia's wearing a wire.
Wearing a wire. Yeah. It's weird because it's in through my clothing in the back. And
I had to walk around with it.
And here's a funny part. During my mixer last night, I had one glass of champagne and I thought, I can't drink anymore. I mean, I don't want to get tipsy, number one. Number two, I'd have to go to the bathroom. And then Daniel, who's got an earpiece in, would hear me, and that would be not the right thing. So I'm sure there's a way to turn it off, but I never asked him.
I didn't even realize that I had that thing on in the bathroom a couple times. Hopefully he didn't record any of that stuff. It didn't even occur to me.
Yeah, well, it occurred to me when I was headed for the bathroom.
Oh, man.
Pull my shirt down because it's kind of a crop.
I hope I wasn't talking to myself or anything.
Or somebody else in the bathroom. Okay, so here it is.
Right.
Here it is. And this thing is going up through my shirt and then out and pinned right here. So my sleeves are really long. How crazy is that?
That isn't just long. Those aren't sleeves. What are those?
They're like drapey, cool little flowy things. I don't know what they are. But and they attract the cats too when they're in that right mood when they want to chase something.
I'm going to complain. Seriously, if you get that sort of budget for clothes, I need a budget for something else.
These are clothes I've had. Nothing new.
Maybe I'll get tropical birds or something.
Oh, I like tropical birds, but they deserve to be free, not in cages. Then again, there are people who have tropical birds that are loved and valued members of their family. So who am I to say what animals should be free and what animals shouldn't be free? I have no idea. No idea. Oh, my mixer. Okay, it was great. A bunch of people showed up. Some people canceled. Chris Pontius was supposed to come, and he had car problems on the way. Coming from Dallas. So people messaged me and said that they couldn't make it last minute, which was fine. But it was a nice turnout. It was cozy, and I'll be making a video with the footage that I took. But also, we had a guy named Ray J who came and brought a professional camera with lights and did a whole setup there. And he took photos of the whole event and video. And then we had Daniel interviewing the flat earthers that were there that wanted to participate for the upcoming documentary. So it wasn't just all about me. I scheduled this very last minute mixer with a vegan sit-down meal with 4 courses just because Daniel was here. I wanted to do one anyway, but then April slipped by, and then, May.
Yeah, the timing was good considering how many meetups have happened this summer already.
And it turned out great. The food was excellent. The company was wonderful. I had these beautiful floral centerpieces, and I gave one to each of the women that were still there at the end of the evening. And it was very warm and wonderful. And I think everyone that went, I know that everyone that went had a great time.
I saw the menu. It sounded delicious.
Yes, the menu was good, actually.
Yeah. Really, Patricia's Spaghetti Patricia?
It was Spaghetti Patricia, but I didn't name it that. The restaurant knows me because I had it there last year. They named it Spaghetti Patricia. And I'm like, should I order the thing and eat myself? That's kind of weird. But it was spaghetti squash.
Yeah, I know. I've had that.
Yeah, I like regular pasta noodles better than spaghetti squash, but I do like spaghetti squash too, especially when somebody else prepares it and serves it to me and then cleans up. I like it.
I was about to say, it's not the most fun to make, but it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
So that was good. And it's on video now too. So part of the documentary, which is one of the best things, to get these flat earthers who came to be part of the documentary. So yeah, let me see if there's any emails I have, and I'll go into the live chat as well. I am going to be doing an interview with Inar Kusk. I know I'm saying his name wrong, but he's got the Finding the Curve documentary.
Right.
Narkusk.
That's a cool one.
So that's going to be coming up pretty soon. We're still debating upon times and such, and we'll get that sorted out. I think I might have a show tomorrow, the 4th, and on July 5th too. So we'll see. We'll see how that works.
Right on.
What else?
Did you see my license plate compilation?
No. Do you have some new plates to show us?
Well, heck, I might as well rattle off what we got so far. And I know you weren't a huge Coldplay fan, which is why you probably didn't watch it.
No, I just don't like that.
Snob.
I mean, they make good pop music, with pop meaning popular music.
Right.
But sometimes the taste that's popular, it's just not the thing I like. But who am I?
That's all right. This was a remix version of Clocks. I know Clocks is probably one of the most overplayed songs in the world.
Yeah, but it's I can't deny that it's a good song and it's a pleasant melodic song. But it's hard for me to divorce my feeling about the lead singer in the band in general from the sound of the band.
Right, because you guys only dated for like 5 months and it was really horrible. I know.
Yeah, we just don't talk about it.
Funny. Okay, so real quick. Let's go. I'm doing this in alphabetical order in the thing. So, Croatia sent a bumper sticker, but the actual plates, you got Germany, which is weird because they don't do personalized plates. Arizona, Arkansas, California. Oh boy, hang on, let me pull these up real fast. Saskatchewan, Alberta, Nova Scotia, British Columbia, Ontario, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, motorcycle, Indiana, car, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, 1, 2, and 3 of those, Maryland, Minnesota, Mississippi, Montana, Nevada, New Mexico, 1, 2, 3 New Yorks, 1, 2, 3 North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Texas, motorcycle, Utah, Virgin Islands, Washington, and Wisconsin.
Pretty good, people.
Yeah, not too shabby at all. That's pretty good stuff considering, you're wearing it on your car, and all different types. There's most of them it's flat, but quite a few are your version.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. I'm glad people have picked up on Flat Earth, FLATRTH.
Yeah. So
I parked my car right in front of the event last night, so the plate would be visible, so people
right on
know they were in the right place.
and quite a few people of those that are driving are going to be going down to the conference.
Oh,
They're going to
yeah.
drive down there.
You
So
and
it's
I
gonna be
are too far to drive. It would. Well, we
yeah,
could
I'm not driving
drive,
down, but it's going to be like a
flying.
little flat car rally.
That's nice. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, that was pretty neat.
Let's see what's going on here. I'm going to read this from Mike in Minnesota, who writes, "Hi, Patricia. I trust all is well. I got a kick out of Mark Sargent talking about cookies that he sent you on a secret show a few back. I think it was show 167. Now it's making me hungry for cookies. But anyway,
Don't say cookies around Daniel. He'll get all fidgety.
Yeah. Well, didn't your mom bake chocolate chip cookies, or you'd bake them?
No, she made them.
Oh,
yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah.
He says, I want to let you know that you helped change my mind 6 months ago on becoming vegetarian. I haven't gotten vegan yet. Also, you helped influence my decision to order a water distillation machine. And I also do a little sun gazing. And all of these decisions have added up, and they're all due to you. My spiritual life has gone to another level. Have a great weekend." So like I said, that's Mike in Minnesota. That's nice to hear. It's nice to hear that you've made a difference in someone's life. I guess that's why we're trying to do this, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We don't have any photos from the Niagara Falls meetup in Canada.
Was it in a heart-shaped bathtub?
It's funny. That's good. That's good. And that happened on July 1st, Canada Day. Have
you been to Niagara Falls? I have not.
No, I have not. Remember, that's in the far. That's the east side.
Yeah.
On the west side, people go up to Vancouver and places like that. But on the east side, yeah, Niagara Falls.
Let's see what else is going on. I'll read this email and make sure I can read it first. Oh, it's so long I can't really read it. His name is Aquarpario Leonine. He says, I totally respect what you have going to make a difference to others. You don't have to do this. I'm here for you. I'll help you out and communicate with you if you ever need anything. That's nice to get emails like that from people who are doing the same thing you're doing and just want to say, hey, I'm here. We've got a guy named David who writes, Patricia, great show. I woke up totally early this year. It's dreadful trying to talk with family and friends who don't have a clue. My question is, how flat Earth works with summer months, the sun going lower in the south in winter. He says he lives in Indiana. Well, you know what? That's a question that you can answer, Mark, but that's based on your model. Others may have a different answer.
What was the question?
The question is, how does the sun work in the summer months?
Oh, well, in my model, which is different. So here, let me grab this real quick.
I'm still thinking about cookies, so.
I know, me too.
You could use a cookie to display this.
If you're into the infinite plane thing, it's going to look like this. It's going to be, you don't know what's on the other side, but there's no dome, which makes it a lot harder to do things when you're trying to explain stuff in the sky, which is why, and I'm not doing it because I'm lazy. I'm just saying that that's how I would do it. You're going to have something enclosed. So it looks like this, like a shallow sports stadium, which means when it comes to southern months, the sun is going through some sort of phasing. That's all I can really tell you. It's instanced, which is the realization of an object. And we've been doing it in simulations for the last 15 years. It is not hard to do. If your planetarium is big enough, there is literally no limit to what you can do in the sky. And it kills me because everybody complains about they always focus on the sky. It's like, oh, how do you do this? How do you do this in the sky? It's like, look, in a planetarium, we can do now almost everything. I would think you'd be more impressed about the stuff on the ground, the stuff in the sky. It's like, how does the jet stream work in an enclosed system? By the way, it works a lot. Jet stream works a lot better in this. The underwater conveyor system works better than this. The magma system works better in this.
Astrology, even.
Astrology works better in this. It just means, again, this looks, in fact, you know what? I'm going to grab, next time I get a chance, I'm going to grab some pictures online of planetariums, the exterior shots of planetariums. Because when you look at them from the outside, depending on how they're built, they look like a sports stadium, a very small sports stadium. Imagine if you took the Superdome and cleared out all the seats and turned it into a planetarium. It would be spectacular. And you could do so much stuff. Sorry, it's my little rant.
No, I like it. Other people, other maps have different views about how the sun works. Simulation theory, but simulation theory is probably instancing as well, right?
Yeah, simulation theory is exactly instancing. We can instance, I know because I still play games, we can instance not only by geographic region, we can instance per individual at this point. We can make a person an instance, which is spooky.
Nathan Oakley has a very good question. Nathan asked the best questions because they're the simplest questions.
I question that.
And oftentimes when I see or hear one of his questions, I say, why didn't I ask that? So it's I know what the answer is, but for those who don't, what is instancing? What does it mean?
Oh, literally, it is the realization of an object, meaning it is a unique perspective, a unique reality, a unique simulation that you can tailor to just about anything. So you could walk into a cave, right? And if the cave is instanced, and I'm stealing straight from Warcraft here, or just about any other game that instanced, when you walk into that cave, whatever's happening in that cave is unique to you, even though it looks like every other cave. From a person from the outside looking in, they don't know what's going on, but you on the inside, everything that's happening in that cave is unique to you. And if somebody else walks into that cave, you can make it to where he is with you, experiencing what's happening right next to you, or he can be in a completely identical version of that cave. You're saying, okay, Mark, what does this got to do with anything?
Yeah, and who's doing it? Who's
well, whoever built this, obviously.
Right.
But
and if they built it, they're still here doing something or wherever they are.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't. Here, let me give you a practical example, and I've used this on separate things. You're on one end of this thing, and you know what? We'll just say that this is under the dome, right? You're actually inside the dome. You're on one side, your friend's on the other side. You both have cell phones and you're talking to each other. And you say, I'm looking at the belt of Orion. And this other person says, I am looking at the belt of Orion too. Now you both think you're looking at the exact same belt of Orion. And you say, well, I'll throw a curveball in for you. You'll say, yeah, but the middle star in mine is green. And you say, no. The middle star in mine is red. So what's happening? It is you are looking at completely different belts of Orion. But you would never know that because you can only be at one place at one time. And if they're identical, you would never, ever know. So what I'm saying is you can have multiple projection systems. So in any planetarium, you only have one. It's just one big planet, one big projection system in the middle because the place isn't big enough to have multiples. But if you have something that's very, very large, you can use as many as you want. Or you can tailor it with software and do just unlimited amount of things with it. And again, it works way easier on an enclosed system that does an infinite plane, because an infinite plane, you got to do. I'm not knocking the people with the infinite plane. It's fine. You guys, again, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but I know full well that there's more questions with this than there is an enclosed system. Take, not to backtrack too much, the high altitude nuclear testing. Why? Doesn't even make sense on an infinite plane, but it completely makes sense on a closed system. Tower of Babel. Now, I'm going biblical here. The story of Joshua. There's all sorts of fun things that are involved with an infinite plane that are way, way different than an enclosed system. Not shooting it down. I'm just saying it's, for me, my mind doesn't have to work nearly as hard with an enclosed system. It's just easier. It's how I would do it. If I was going to build it, which is why I called the website enclosedworld.com, that's how I would do it if I was going to build the world.
Well, there could be many systems that are enclosed with something, whether this is square shaped or round shaped, and that's an infinite amount of them.
You saw the Carly Sunshine graphic where it was a whole bunch of these lined up next to each other.
Like that, yes.
Yeah. Why would you have a one-off? And think of all the things you could do with it. One, we're not the only people that ever live in this thing, first. So it's not like it's a one and done. So you can have multiple civilizations go through their life cycles through this thing. And if you had a whole bunch next to each other, all sorts of fun. These guys are in the prehistoric era. These guys are in the modern future. These guys are in medieval time.
And these guys must die.
Yeah, and these guys, they're just a bunch of assholes.
Time for the flood.
A wrench. Yeah.
Maybe that's the creator with a wrench up there saying, okay, guys, you're out of
Oh,
here.
and remember my little argument where I said, it's one of two things. If it's an enclosed system, because people say why, and okay, it's either this little box here is filled full of kittens or it's filled full of scorpions. If we're filled for kittens, that means they're trying to protect us from whatever's outside of here. But if it's scorpions, that means that they're trying to keep us from messing up stuff outside. And honestly, come on, let's be real with each other, right? We're a pretty savage, dangerous thing. If we even in our own science fiction stories have said that. The famous science fiction movie from years ago, the first day the Earth stood still, that was the whole premise, which was, no, you guys are not going to do space travel. We're not letting you anywhere near us. You're just horrible. So.
I don't even believe that there would be supposed space travel, but if there was an infinite plane where there was more land, let's just say, and domes or no domes or coverings or no coverings, that we could go over to those other ponds.
Yeah, well,
possibly.
Me to you. Let's just talk, just you and me, shall we? Let's bring it down.
Bring the lights down low.
Yeah.
Sit back.
Let's just no, from me to you, would you let us run amok, knowing what you have seen so far in your 29 years on this world?
So 29 years. I thought people were a mix of good and bad until I got into Flat Earth. And that's when I found all the same types of good people I'd always found, some of the same types of bad people. But I found the craziest people within Flat Earth that I'd never doing things to each other that I could never even imagine. And that's made me think, if this is representative of the wider world, I'm scared.
There you go. See? Well, don't be scared. Trust in the system.
I'm not really scared, but I'm saying,
But you're not going to let, again, just my opinion, we can move on. Yeah, you're not going to let a group as savage as us, just start running around with weapons. Because what's the first thing we're going to do? We find another pond? Oh my God. If we're better, it's straight up art of war at that point.
It'll be, I want what you've got.
Yeah, I've got what you want. You're stronger than me. Fine, I'll back up.
Right.
You're not as strong as me. Oh, we're coming in.
Right,
we're taking
exactly.
It. Yeah.
Flat out elected Rand is here. Hello, who says, we are in a greenhouse and on a clock and compass. This place is amazing. If only we could see it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about it. Again, you want a little soundbite here, which is, this is a combination. Terrarium, planetarium, sports stadium, amusement park, greenhouse, game. You take your pick. It is a lot of things combined into one. On top of that, a massive clock system, which is fantastic. Again, the people that said, oh, you're killing astrology. I'm going, no, I'm not. If anything, I'm making it more relevant. Astrology, the stars aren't just out there millions of light years away. They're here, right here, and they're for you. So the predictions and the clock system is still intact. It's unique and it's intimate. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see. We've got Ranty Rant saying, how many people in chat display their belief in Flat Earth or on their Facebook status or posts daily? Or is it still a dirty secret? We change nothing by being silent. We make change by being vocal. I agree. I use my Facebook and Twitter maybe too much with Flat Earth. But I do understand how there's people who don't want to be outspoken. Their career could be at stake. And it's easy for me or you to say, oh, forget that career. What's more important is truth. Well, when your children are crying and their stomachs are empty, you might think differently. We need to bring about change, but each person has to make their own decision as to where they're going to take that.
Holy smokes, as soon as you said that, my Penguins and Wrenches video hit 666 views. That's also a teaser for next week.
And also at that very moment, my black cat Greer walked into the room and crossed my path.
Did you do it twice?
No, just once. Oh, that's true. Last week, if you were watching one of my interview shows.
Oh, it's so freaky.
There was something weird happening on YouTube, which was creating a glitch in which I was told, but I didn't see it happening live, but I was told later that it looked like my guest's black cat jumped off the table, the exact table twice.
Yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't just that. I mean, when it happened, it was happening every so many minutes. You would get these 5-second loops to where all of a sudden you go back 5 seconds. I mean, instantly. without any weird distortion, and it would play it again. And not everyone was seeing it on top of it.
Well, that was show 173 with Chris Pontius. And when it went to YouTube, where it is now, they corrected it and it was totally fine.
Yeah, it's the buffer. I don't know how they fixed it, but it was genius. Apparently they were anticipating it, which was, I thought.
Nathan Oakley says everybody knows that he's a flat earther. His friends, his family.
Well, I mean,
where it works.
Again, you know, the creep factor just keeps accelerating. What was the thing? So I typed in, let's see if it's still there. So I type in flat earth into YouTube right now, and I sort by view count. And today no, I'm sorry, not view count. Upload date. 17.8, which is a new record. And you're thinking, wow, 17.8 million, what does that mean? I'm going, okay, well, type in something, I don't know, somebody low key, like Lady Gaga.
Somebody no one knows about.
If I type in Lady Gaga and I sort by upload date, she comes in at 16.3. We're scoring higher than her.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga. Or I don't know, let's do somebody easy, like every video ever made about NASA.
Right.
NASA comes in at 8. Right? Neil deGrasse Tyson. Let's do an easy one.
Oh, you said his name. You're supposed to only say NDT.
Sorry, NDT. He comes in at not even 500,000, 500,000. And oh no, let's just pick something small for you. Here, because you're a music person. Let's type in the Beatles. Everything the Beatles ever were done on YouTube. Sort by upload date comes in at 13.4. So yeah, we're scoring higher than the Beatles, Lady Gaga. We can't beat Katy Perry at the moment or Taylor Swift. But you're saying, okay, what does that mean? I'm saying we did this without any marketing.
That's we're coming for them. We're coming for them.
Yeah. I mean, Donald Trump's coming in just a hair higher than us at about 19. And he's the most talked about president in the history of media. So we're you know, don't tell me this thing's going away. This just keeps smoldering and smoldering and smoldering to where
we're trying to build critical mass. I think that's where we are right now, the stage we are, getting more people involved, more people on board. And then what we do later, well, remains to be seen. Can you hear Greer meowing? Do you hear that noise?
A little bit.
Okay. She came in dragging a toy, like a toy that you tease. It looks like a fishing pole toy. And she wants me to play with her. And I'm sorry, Greer, you have to wait till after.
You got approval for the cat sounds for the CGI? That's really good.
Bill Keith says, I was in a grocery store today and had my phone around my neck, and I was listening to the Rob Skiba ODD interview, and the cashier had a weird smile because Rob Skiba kept saying flat earth.
Nice.
It's cool.
Nice. Again, it freaks people out. And I wear flat earth t-shirts whenever I get a chance.
Chris Truthseeker has.
I'm not wearing one at the moment, though. I'm wearing just
popped into my chat, which is somewhat surprising. But there we go. Cami is here. Hello, Cami. Flatpool is here as well. Let's see. David Sullivan says, I don't openly post on Facebook about Flat Earth, but I comment positively on others' posts. That cannot be underestimated, how nice it is when you see a fellow Flat Earther comment on your Facebook posts, just backing you up, especially if you're new to posting, to post when you've just come out as a Flat Earther on your page where it's just friends and family from high school and your job, etc., and they don't know anything about Flat Earth, to have silence with tumbleweeds blowing through the minute you post Flat Earth is disheartening. Have even one person come in and say, yeah, you're right, I agree with you, people should look into it. It helps a lot. I
don't have a Facebook account, but what I do is, and you probably know me, I will post it as much as I can. I will browse as many videos as I can, and I will leave positive comments as needed, but I will never leave a negative comment. I will say, I will do my rubber stamp thing. You guys have all seen it, my generic thing. If I'm neutral, or even if I don't like the person, you know, if you're just helping our metrics, hey, great, I will rubber stamp you. I will thumbs up. I will never thumbs down. Just because, again, I believe in the mechanism. I believe in the system. It has never let me down. Not once. And with the level of videos that people make against you, it's very, and I know you don't thumbs down because of being with you in person.
in Washington, and we were looking at YouTube videos
Yeah.
together in the room where you are right now. And you just said that you didn't really say bad karma, but pretty much you said you won't thumbs down videos, even if they're against you and they're completely lies and unfair.
And
I think that's a very, very good strategy.
well,
It's not
flat
a
Earth,
strategy. It's a very good way to be. People can have their opinion about you, me, or anyone else. It doesn't mean it's true. It's just their opinion. It's their instancing.
exactly.
you.
The closest I've ever come to saying something negative is that I will remind them of karma.
Yes,
Say, look, you don't want to do this. You got to believe in this thing. And this is the reason why I don't thumbs down. It's like, look, if you firmly believe in, and fine, if you, again, hang on.
not that shape. You mean any shape.
You don't, if you
Whatever
believe
matter.
this or this,
Square, if it's
whatever,
or if it's a simulation completely. If
yeah,
believe in
if
that
you
as
do
opposed
believe
to
in it, if you fully believe in it, you should never do anything malicious. Again, that's not to say you're not going to defend yourself, of course, but you're not going to go out of your way to cause harm to somebody that didn't, to an innocent.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's people that have come against me with a ton of false accusations, and I always treat them with kindness. And if the accusations are really out of hand, I just completely ignore them. I don't defend myself, who I am, what I am. I just allow them to say whatever they want and do whatever they want. But I'm not going to go actively attack them back.
I hear you.
Because,
wait. Scales.
Yeah, the good old reptilian thing will never die. Yeah, the conspiracy thing is a bit out of hand sometimes with what people believe, but that's fine. They can believe whatever they want. I'm still going to be here, and you don't have to watch if you think I'm whatever fill in the blank is.
Right.
But I'm not going to do anything negative against you. Sorry.
Good.
I know that a lot of those people would like nothing better.
Don't.
So then they can go, look how she's acting, just like I said.
And it took me years to figure that out, which is why I believe in the system, in that anybody that ever did something horribly malicious or even moderately malicious to me over the years suffered for it, and I didn't have to do anything. It was like a cloud that followed them somewhere. It took a little while to find them in some cases, but as soon as they got settled in, it got them. And sometimes they didn't even find out until much later. I was like, oh, okay, well, it's one less thing, I guess.
There was a young boy who pushed, oh, Greer, she's trying to step on the microphone, boom. A young boy who pushed me in a red wagon down a hill when I was young, and it chipped my front tooth. It was just a baby tooth.
Yeah.
Oh, it was actually an adult tooth, slight chip in one of my teeth. Front tooth, very tiny, and I actually had it
Shouldn't
fixed.
let your teeth like that. I'm single.
Sorry, I was just trying to show.
That's all right. It's all right.
I'll do this. Anyway, yeah, it's tiny, and it was fixed. But he just was an older bully who, I'm like, will you pull me in the wagon? And instead, he just pushed me down a hill.
What happened to him?
He died of a heart attack at age 41.
I can top that. I got one for you.
And I'm sure I'm not the only person that he did something to. If you're going to hurt a young little girl, I mean, that's sick.
Girls have never. Oh, I mean, girls did something to me, or I did something.
No, I'm just saying that boy.
Oh yeah, that's bad. No, that's
girl,
double whammy. Oh no, you're just asking for it. In fact, I have a red pen. I had a kid that's a bully when I was young. Who I had a favorite red pen that I would carry with me to school.
Mark and his favorite red pen.
I did. I had a favorite red pen, and he grabbed it from me on the bus. He came over the seat in front of me and snapped it in half right in front of my face. And which was interesting because he was cut in half by a train, I think when he was in his 20s.
I was going to joke and say he was found dead with a red pen, like right in between.
No. He was cut in half in a train, Omen style. It was really, really fun. So
it was really fun. Now people will say, Mark, that's very nasty of you.
Yes. Was it only a red pen? But to a child, that was a significant thing. It was uncalled for. And
there was bullies when I was a child, like the boy who pushed me down the hill. And there's bullies I face today in Flat Earth. They might not think they're bullies. They might call themselves truth seekers, but they're bullies. And I think the system deals with bullies, and it may take its time, but it happens. It will happen.
Trust me, people, it does work eventually.
Don't do bad things. Try
Yeah.
not to.
Well, try not to do bad things. Again, but that doesn't mean you don't go quietly into the night either. You know what I mean? Well, there's an old in fact, it's an Indian saying. By that I mean Native American, which is trust in God, but row away from the rocks.
Yeah, that's true. That makes a lot of sense. I want to say hello to Hand Candy Mittens, who says, I went to a block party on Friday. I met a hollow earther. I shared some information, had a globe believer try to tell me that planes have to point their noses up in order to overcome gravity. Funny
Nice.
the things people talk about. I went to a smoothie shop and I tried to make a video and have him call my name as Flat Earth as opposed to having it say Patricia on it, but he couldn't because it was too long to put in the computer. The Earth is flat. That's what I wanted him to say. And then when I picked up my smoothie from the counter, I said to the same guy, no, I just want you to know I wanted you to say the Earth is flat out loud, but since you weren't able to, look into Flat Earth. And he said, well, I believe in the hollow Earth. And it kind of blew me away that there wasn't a person in there who had an alternative Earth belief. That's a step.
That would have been me 3 years ago.
Right. That's true.
That would have been that guy.
You have said that you don't completely discount hollow Earth. It could be a factor.
Oh, no. In fact, I insist on it. There's definitely stuff down there. No question. In fact, I was one of the things I got crap
They
for.
say there's giants down there just waiting to come out and play.
Or chuds or Morlocks or...
Chuds?
Yeah.
What's
Look
that?
it up. It's a science fiction thing.
Oh, okay.
You'll
I
find
don't know about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound...
Subterranean people. You ever watched Time Machine?
No, I don't. Maybe. Is it an old
Guy
one?
Pearce?
Maybe.
Jeremy Irons?
I want to say hi to Bling Bling, the BS of the ISS. And Ukdina Walker, since we're coming up on July 4th, 2017, which is tomorrow, this is the 3rd, it's fireworks. And Ukdina says that she hates fireworks, that they frighten animals. And I know you're a big fireworks guy, as you would say, or you used to be. But I personally don't like fireworks either because all the cats I've ever had get spooked. And of course, outside, there's horses and dogs, animals run away. That part I don't like. And birds, of course. Animals probably get killed in the sky when fireworks fly up there.
Well, no. Most of the time in the big aerial shows, they stay away from them because I actually trained to be one of those professionals, but didn't work out. When I did it, everything was kept to a minimum. It was on the beach. It was all shot over the water. Very few animals anywhere, and they stay clear. After the first shot, they are a long.
Just a bunch of pollution too. Noise pollution and actual physical.
Well, actual pollution. My neighbors paid their kids. I didn't know this till like years later. Paid their kids per grocery bag to go out and pick up all the cardboard and wood and stuff and put it into bags and then throw it in the trash.
Okay, well, there's something to be said about that.
See, it wasn't
children to be responsible.
Exactly. Well, they paid them to do it, but
I loved fireworks when I was young. I definitely did. But as an adult, I'm not going out to view them anymore. And maybe I will someday. I have no idea. But generally, I avoid those sort of holiday crowds. And the animals, the cats get freaked out. So I remember last year, I was somewhere. No, it wasn't last year. It was it was recently when I was living in an apartment during past couple of months. And there was a fireworks show, and I'm not sure even, it might have been for Christmas or I don't know what it was, but there was a fireworks show. I was staying in this temporary apartment, and there was a fireworks show out my back window, and it was, the cats got scared, but it was incredibly beautiful because I was like 14 stories up or something. So they are beautiful. It is a wonderful thing.
Oh yeah,
invented by the Chinese, actually, from what I've heard.
I am completely lucky that I have all my fingers.
Just animals in general being scared by anything, not good. Now, here's a conspiracy. Rand of Flat Out Elected says that, did Kid Rock die today?
What? Hang on.
Check into that. Ukdina Walker says her husband is a combat veteran and he is terrified of fireworks. I don't like the fireworks that make that really loud boom noise for no apparent reason. Why is that fun?
I don't see any Kid Rock stuff.
Okay,
so one of those
internet death rumors.
The only news that was even remotely interesting was Chris Christie, where he shut down all the beaches in New Jersey and then took his family out sunbathing in front of their beach house.
Isn't Chris Christie just the creepiest mayor ever?
Yeah. Well, he's done. He's just gonna do his term. He'll never get reelected, so he doesn't care. But no, there's no Chris Rock thing.
All right. So no, Chris Rock is not dead. I saw Chris Rock in concert one. I mean, not Chris Rock. Did I say Chris Rock? I didn't mean Chris Rock.
What do you mean? Well, nobody's showing up as dying.
Did I say? I said Kid Rock. Sorry. Kid
Rock.
Rock.
Sorry, Chris Rock. Kid
yeah.
Rock. Doesn't matter. No celebrities died today.
I saw him in concert at the House of Blues in New Orleans because the radio station I worked for had tickets, and I went because I had nothing better to do, not knowing who he was. And it's not my kind of music at all, but it was I was really close to the stage. It was in a very small place, the House of Blues. And I guess it was enjoyable for music that I don't really like. So, and he was wearing red leather pants or something. That's all I remember. I've seen a lot of bands live based on radio stations, free tickets. And, you know, I regret most of the ones I've gone to that I wasn't interested in, you know? You know, just going to see live concerts to me is not good. You've got to really love the band or the artist, or it's just really, really annoying.
I know. I have not done that many concerts in my life.
All right. So everyone have fun if you're an American on the 4th of July, and you in the UK, be glad you got rid of us.
Yeah, if you're not American, who cares? We don't.
No, that's not true.
That is true, actually.
So anything else you've got coming up that you want to discuss?
No, I should probably announce the meetups that are going to happen. July 8th, there's going to be the second Phoenix meetup. You guys can check that out on, just type in Flat Earth Meetup Phoenix. The second big one, this is not the one that Globebusters and FEA and ODD were at. The second Denver, Colorado one is happening on July 11th. And then, of course, the one in Fort Collins. Crap, I don't see it. I know it's in there somewhere. There's another one happening in Fort Collins, though.
You'll be making videos for all of these things, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, there's videos for all that. Just type in Flat Earth Meetup. You'll get all the latest and greatest. And if I'm missing one, if you guys want to do a meetup, whoever wants to organize it, just contact me via email, msargent23@comcast.net, and I will dig up a template and I'll put it out there for you. Or if you're ambitious enough to make a video of your own, I will mirror it on my channel. And of course, send me any tips.
The cool, you mean tips like change? Like in
no, just news tips. No. So if anything in Flat Earth happens, send me a thing. Assume I don't know, and I will try to clear it up. So like the satellite thing, I didn't come up with that.
Yeah.
Somebody sent it to me and they go, "Hey, dude, do you see this thing?" I'm going, "Where the hell did this come from?"
Interesting news. Yeah. Another secret show is down the drain. I mean, in the can.
We augured that one into the ground.
Success again. We're done. That concludes episode 174. And I'm Patricia Steere, and that's Mark Sargent. And we've got Daniel. Can you come over behind so everyone can see you one last time? There he is, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
Flat Earth documentary being filmed here and already at Mark's house. And like I've shown a couple times, I'm wearing a wire for real this time, conspiracy theorists. And I'll talk to you later. And from Mark and myself and Daniel and the cats, keep it flat.
Keep it flat.